Okay, very good. Good morning. So today is a very special day. It's full moon, you know. So full moon is considered very special because it is said that everything multiplies into 1,000 times, good or bad, both. So some people today don't eat meat in Tibet, and I guess part of the world where Buddhist practitioner as well as I think Hinduism too, they don't eat eggs, they don't eat meat, they don't smoke cigarettes, so they try to be today good. And also, so even if you do something bad, it multiplies into 1,000 times. If you do good, it multiplies 1,000 times. In Ladakh, for example, Leh, we have two parts. There's Leh district and Kargil district. Kargil district is Shia-dominated, Muslim. And Leh district is Buddhist-dominated. So then the Buddhist Association makes the rule that today, no killing of animals. So all the butchers are Muslim. So new moon and full moon, no killing. And so actually sometimes the Muslim butchers remind us, tomorrow is full moon. So I thought that's wonderful, at least, no harming being. We try to learn compassionate step by step in our life. And it's a good thing because each butchers, they probably have to kill, like, Leh has a population of like about 20, 30,000, plus in summer we have tourists, could be 50, 60,000. So that saves about like few hundred sheeps and probably 1,000 chicken, or maybe chicken, maybe more. 5,000, 6,000 could be chicken. So it's banned on full moon and on new moon. So like that. So today I thought we're going to do a healing practice. It's a very special healing practice. And first I thought today let's do a Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara practice. I'm going to give the transmission because it's this is a particular tradition come from Payul lineage of His Holiness Beno Rinpoche's tradition, Payul lineage. And I got this transmission from him. And it's a beautiful Avalokiteshvara practice for the beings of the sixth realm. Devas, demigods, human, and animals, pretas, hungry ghosts, and then hell realm, to benefit those beings. So first I will give you a transmission, then we will do that. It's not long practice, it's a short practice. So let me first give you a transmission. Namo kunjosum nazawasum, kyamne namna kyabdu che, tukun sanje lagu che, chaji chodo simgeto, ranyi tuje chimbone, karbochi chaji. Kilgore natar gege, bema dawe dena jo, om mani peme hung. Saye ji de manju kore, chaji chaji taje tang, pemo peme. Bema dawe de jo, om soha, om mani peme hung. Lamenji de manju, janji chaji taje tang, kuzu bema dawe de, kimu tugu juparson, om ma so. Mi jikde wanju ta jeji jeji teja tang tema pema debete kimu tungu shubarsum ni soha mani pemi hung tunju jikde shi tajara tang budi pema debete kimu tungu shubarsum pe soha mani pemi hung yita jikde wanju mora jeji jeji teja tang rumpe pema debete kimu tungu shubarsum soha mani jeji jeji teja tang Michu Pema Tanazi, Utuki Shubarsam, Hungso Ha, Yawadi Ngududa, Chinese Wondubine, Roachi Mandupati, Salago Parisho. Okay, that's the transmission. We don't have really much time today to go through explanation because we have many ceremonies, healing ceremonies to do. And so I'm not going to give a commentary on this, but you can read the English translation. I don't know how good the translation is, but this is what there is right now. So first, let's do with the 8 auspicious prayer. Now today, not only we are doing this healing practice that you should think for yourself, but for all beings, and particularly the crisis going in the world today, wars and famine and lots of world problem. So please include all beings in your mind and your families and friends. Pray for all of them. This is a very special practice for healing for all. So first, 8 noble auspicious prayer. Nosi namda ranji lundu pe tashi choju shingna shukpa yi sangi choda gindu pape so kula chase dacha tashi shu dumi gyabo zedin dundu gung chenpe gimpe gada padampa Kula gomba jashir daba che lumbu darba salda baldani simje tamche lagong dabe be yizam zeba zerab dabelde zinzam debe tashi bebe be devara shikpa gela chazalo Jambe shunu palden durji zi chere siwa gumbo jambe pe sayi nyingbo deba nambra se namge nyingbo pacho kundu sang ube doje pekara lushin ta nubu dawa ralti nyimayi Chase legnam tashi palki cho chanchu sempa gela chasalo rinji dujo tashi sirki nya dujo bumza yung kamala nyenda tunda punzo palpe u minu geze wanjuru kolote Rinjin tajo yegi chaden chen chodu gewa chujin gege ma geso ngobo tempe pepe we trashi lamu gela chazalo sangpa chenpo dejung seme pu migdon denda gyalpo yul kurosung Pagi podan luwan migmi zang namde sede laze kolo dang tishu la dang dung tung dorje zin piwang rati chute ge zin zi sasum nesu gelik tashi pe jite kyungwa gela chasa lo Daja tengdere chawa zomba la geda nyewara tsewa kunji ne dedun bebe samde yishin rup trashi dele pusum so parasho. You can repeat the last sentence 3 times. Daja tengdere chawa zomba la geda nyewara tsewa kunji ne Dödön bebe samdö yijin drup, trashi dele pusum soparasho, daja dengdere chawa zumbala, geda nyewara tsewa kunji ne, dödön bebe samdö yijin drup, trashi dele pusum soparasho. So this prayer is an auspicious prayer. If you do once a day, the whole day, everything, will be harmonious. If you do at night, if you have like nightmares or difficult dreams, it will calm down that. And if you do this when you're traveling to any direction, let's say you're going from one city to the next, first thing while you're driving, when you do this, it will stop all negative energies and make auspicious. Your whole thing will go calm. So it's a very special prayer for creating harmonious situation, auspicious situation. So now after this, then let's do the, so today, because we have a lot of practice to do, so we will do the English translation of the Avalokiteshvara practice. So let's just jump to the English to the Avalokiteshvara practice first. First in Tibetan, then in English. This, you have this? You don't have? Oh, okay. So Genevieve gave me this. I thought everyone has. Do we have a copy here?
We looked at it earlier this year. We can't find it.
Okay, then no problem. Then you recite Om Mani Padme Hum. Think of Mani Padme Hum is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara mantra, the mantra of compassion. Okay? So I will do this, and you can listen next time you do like this. Namo Kunjo. You can recite Mani Padme Hum, or you can listen, sit. Namo Kunjo Sumdan Tsawa Sum Kyabne Namlai Kyabsuchi Drogu Sangye Laguchir Chanju Chodu Simketu Namo Kunjo Sumdan Tsawa Sum Kyabne Namlai Kyabsuchi Drogu Sangye Laguchir Chanju Chodu Simketu Namo Kunjo Sumdan Tsawa Sum Kyabne Namlai Kyabsuchi Drogu Sangye Laguchir Chanju Chodu Simketu Rani. So you say, I take refuge in the three jewels, the three roots, and all sources of refuge. In order to place all being in the state of Buddhahood, I give rise to the supreme bodhicitta. Rani tukje chimbo ni, karpo shalchi chaji pa. Teljara tengwa pemazin, Kildun Rana Tarkiken, Pema Dawe de Laju, Omani Peme, Omani Peme, Omani Peme. Self-nature is Tukji Chimpo, Avalokiteshvara. White with one face and four arms, with palm pressed together, holding a mala and a lotus. In full lotus posture, wearing silk and jewel ornament, seated upon a lotus moon and sit, Om Mani Padme Hum. Layi Jigdea Wanchukar, Shalji chashi taljaratang Piwan pema daveting Kilmo tunki shukparasam Om Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Ami Jikte Wang Chu Jam Shalchi Chashi Taljaratam Kuzun Pema Davedin Kilmo Tungi Shukparasam Om Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Mi Jigde Wang Chu Ta Shalji Chashi Taljaratam Tenwa Pema Davedin Kilmo Tunki Shukparasam Om Ni Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Tundu Jigde Wang Chu Tu Chashi Taljaratam Poti Pema Davedin Kilmo Tunki Shukparasam Om Pe Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Ita Jigde Wang Chumar Shalji Chashi Tunki So Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Nyalve Jigde Wang Chu Na Shachi Chashi Taljaratam Mechu Pema Chana Zin Kilmo Tunki Shukparasam Om Hung Soha Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Gewa Di Nyurtuda Chere Siwan Drugyune Rowa Chikyam Malup De Sala Guparasho. So I read the English translation. So they are the 6 Avalokiteshvara to the 6 realms. So first is from the Devas realm. The Avalokiteshvara, Jigten Wangchuk, the God's realm is white, with one face, 4 arms. 4 arms represent 4 immeasurable. Immeasurable compassion, immeasurable kindness, immeasurable equanimity, immeasurable rejoice. That's the symbol. These are all symbols to bring out that quality. Palm pressed together, holding a veena, seated upon a lotus and moon seat. Veena is, I think, like a violin, In the God's realm, they are like tremendous 5 sense pleasure. So Avalokiteshvara coming in that form, seated upon a lotus moon seat. Consider he remains the full lotus posture. The mantra to purify God's realm, pride. The main cause of being born in the God's realm is the pride. To purify that affliction, the mantra is Om, Om, Soha. Then mantra of Avalokiteshvara, Omani Peme Hum. Then next is the demigods. The Avalokiteshvara Jigten Wangchuk of the jealous God's realm is green. It's green in color, with one face, 4 arms. Again, same meaning. Palm pressed together. Palm pressed together, meaning is non-duality, ultimate nature, like oneness. Holding armor. Armor is what? The armor of 6 paramita. The armor of compassion, with no affliction come in. Armor seated upon a lotus. Lotus symbolizes purity. And moon disk. Moon is like skillful mean, the sun. All these are symbolic meaning, how to bring that enlightened quality. Moon seat. Consider he remained in the full lotus posture, and to purify the jealous demigod, main cause to be born is jealous. So whenever jealous gets to the crescendo, then one can be born in the jealous God's realm. In order to purify that and to purify the negative karma of all demigods' realm, this is the mantra, Om Ma Soha. Then Om Mani Pe Me. Then next is human world. The Avalokiteshvara Jigten Wangchuk of the human realm is multicolored, with one face, 4 arms, palm pressed together, holding a mala, lotus, a crystal mala, lotus, seated upon a lotus and moon seat. Consider he remained the full lotus posture. The main neurosis of the humans is doubt. Humans are always doubtful. So that in order to, and of course, there is all other afflictions too, but to purify the seed to be born in the human realm, where the psychic existence being trapped, to be free from that, the mantra is Ni. Human seedable is Ni. So Om Ni Soha, Omani Padme Hum. Then next is the animal's realm. Animal's realm, Avalokiteshvara, he manifests. The Avalokiteshvara Jigten Wangchuk, the animal realm is smoke color. It's like smoke color. With one face, 4 arms, palm pressed together, holding a scripture, seated upon a lotus and moon seat. Consider he remains in the full lotus posture. Then the mantra is Om Pet. Pet is the like this syllable, like the seed syllable of the ignorance of the animal's realm. The main fundamental, the symbol of animal is like ignorance. Though ignorance is everywhere, but particularly animal's realm is ignorant. In order to purify that seed, to be born in the animal realm is pet, Om Pe Soha, Om Mani Pe Me Hung, it purifies that. Then next is the hungry ghosts, pretas, spirits, all they fall into hungry ghost realm, ghost, spirit, haunted house. Mostly they are in the category of hungry ghosts because they are always like looking for something and then harming beings and causing disturbance like that. So the cause of that to be born in the hungry ghost is greed. greeds, like very stingy greed, that kind of thing, one can be born in the hungry ghost. So therefore, when person dies, one should be free of all those thoughts. So, before you die, you should not leave your possession, whatever you need to give to your children, everything write down so your mind is free to go at the time of the death. So then you will be worrying about at the time of who is going to take away, who is going to do, people fight. Then you can be born in the hungry ghost realm, trapped in that state. So therefore, do everything clear so your mind is free to go. This is important. So the greed is the cause to be born in the hungry ghost. The Avalokiteshvara Jigtan hungry spirit is red in color, with one face together, holding seated upon a lotus and moon seat. Consider he remains the full lotus posture, and that particular seed syllable of to be born is the greed. So may, the mantra is may, like Om Mani Padme Hum. That mantra symbolizes purification to be born in the sixth realm of cyclic existence. That's what it is. That mantra purifies to be born in that. So Om Mani Padme Hum again. Then next is the hell realm. Hell realm is the cause to be born in the hell realm is anger, immediate like. So if there's a fight, two-person fight, and if they die under like a fighting thing, or if especially if when you are dying, is something cause you so angry, that will trigger to be born in the hell realm. So the main cause to be born in the hell realm is anger, particularly. So therefore, these six emotions, five passion, ignorance, attachment, anger, pride, jealous, envy. These are caused to be born in those realms. So this is how we are born in this cyclic existence. We get trapped in that body, in that mind state. And the cause of those, our F6 state, it is a byproduct of affliction. We can clearly see. So how do you purify that byproduct of affliction? It's through wisdom and compassion. There's no other way to purify that. Just simply, my affliction go away, it won't go away. You have to bring the method, skillful meaning, through your meditation, through your compassionate practice. Then you can purify that. You can see, you can transcend. Otherwise, we are trapped in that sixth realm. Right now, we're in human rebirths. And the human main four major suffering of human is birth, old age, sickness, and death. On top of suffering upon suffering, change of suffering, conditions. So always trapped in those states. And what is the cause? Again, ignorance and affliction. That is the cause. There's no other cause to that. And we can purify? Yes, we can. We can see through the wisdom of emptiness, through wisdom of compassion, we can purify that. So this is what this practice, very, very special practice. These are very profound practice to develop in our own mind purification. And so then at the end, then you dedicate the merit. By this virtue, may I swiftly accomplish the state of Avalokiteshvara, and may all sentient beings, without exception, be established in that very status. The translation is okay. Dharma has been in India now 2,600, 700 years. In Tibet, since the last, starting about like 5th century. So this, if you do daily practice of Avalokiteshvara practice will grow your compassion. It's very, very special. In fact, when you do Avalokiteshvara practice, you don't think anything else than, development of compassion. That's the main focus of Avalokiteshvara. Very, very special practice. But then, so therefore, it really works well with your affliction and ego, because it's practice on compassion. Now, when you do like the other practice, like when you do healing practice, yes, we need the bodhicitta and refuge always go before. But still, when you do healing, I may get better. There's a little bit of I there, my family, my friends, like that. And then suddenly when your enemy begin to appear, I'm not sure how much prayer I should extend to them, So there is always this emotion comes. But when you do compassion, then even you think of your enemy, everyone to be well-being. So therefore, our Lokeshwara practice is really, really very, very special practice. So like that, so I give you transmission. Now you can make a copy and do this on a full moon when you have time, will be great. Let's recite one round of Mala Om Mani Padme Hum, okay? So you can visualize Avalokiteshvara in front of the space, and the light's wisdom light radiates healing all over the world. In the mind of world leaders, they have a wisdom and compassion. And all beings may purify their negative karmas, and then they can achieve happiness, temporal happiness, and ultimate happiness of enlightenment. So let's make a prayer like that. And please bring the prayer wheel. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Gewadi nyudu ta chene zimon. Rowaji gyamman rupate salagu parsho. Chanchu simcho rinpoche ma ki panam kigurchi. Keba nyamba meba yang kongne kongdo pe parsho. There's a prayer after Avalokiteshvara, and he says, may the bodhicitta which has not been born in my mind, may it be born. And whatever has been born may not decline. It's a prayer, So then after that, when you finish this practice, then you can do tonglen, those who are doing tonglen. It'll be very powerful to do tonglen right after our Lokeshwara practice. Okay? Like that. So now we do today's practice is like called sang. Sangs mean purification. So it's a very special prayer by Padmasambhava. The history of this is started in 8th century. This prayer was brought by Padmasambhava in 8th century for healing of, different physical sickness and purification of obscure energy. Like you feel dull, heavy, you don't feel clearly in your head. It will purify all those things. And then different sickness. So it's considered very special practice. Also in your house, if you feel disturbance energy, unbalanced energy, this will balance energy. It's a very special practice. So now, Jim, you start the fire, and then later you have to bring the smoke. Did you put Amrita in that? Yeah. So with the fire alarm? Okay. So even if it makes noise?
Yeah, everybody should know the fire alarms probably will go off, but the fire department knows that we're doing a special.
We should open the windows. Yeah, when they're... Oh, because there are different parts. One part, they will bring the smoke to purify, so healing. So at that time, the smoke alarm can go off. Okay, so now, okay, Jim, you have to sprinkle the water. Okay, do it now. Thank you. Ram, yam, comes. You have that, right? Yeah. Sangze namki mata pe tema baso tamche sekdur jude tongbara jang. So here, may all the filth and impurities of the incense substance be burned, scattered, washed up, and cleansed into emptiness. So Ram is like fire, the wisdom fire. Yam is the wind which purifies. Kam is like, washed away. So all the food ingredient, first we have to purify for the offerings. So these are the three mantras, Ram, Yam, Kam. Then after that, now first you have to, once that is cleansed, then one is to understand the nature of emptiness. Om Sum Bhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sum Bhava Shuddha Hang. Dongpe Ngangle Dumle Rinpoche Nu Yangshin Gya Chewe Nangdu Om Ah Hung Shuwa Le Chungwe Sangze Duyun Ki Nam Kato Tiro Nuju Ponsum Sokpara Gyur. From the nature of emptiness, the drum appears from which a vast and spacious precious vessel appears. In this vessel, the letter Om Ah Hung melt, and from this arises the incense substance. They are in the aspect of the object of offering that please the sense, having color, odor, and the taste of excellent potential. So basically, the smoke we see with all the food is like you have to visualize like an infinite precious vessel, so vast in your visualization. And in that, like the letter Om Ah Hung, it melts, and then it becomes the nectar substance. In the eyes is pleasing, in the ear is music, in the nose is perfume, in the mouth is taste, and in the body is sensation, in the mind is like compassion arising. So basically, who is the guest we are offering? I can't today explain too much, then otherwise time will go too long. Basically, the beings of the six realms are the guests. Not only that, there are four main guests where we are offering. First is the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Then is to all the protectors, second guest. Third is the beings of the sixth realm. All are like guests when we make it. Then in that, our karmic debts, who we owe things, because sometimes many of our problem comes from our karmic debt. You have a karmic debt, in your many lifetimes. You may have killed beings. You may have beat beans, you may have abused other people. All those debts will come to you. So you are paying in one way or another. And you don't know what's causing suffering, problem in your life because you have so many debts. And sometimes you get nightmarish, and there's also debt to that. Nothing happens without cause. So there's all kinds of causes are there. So therefore, now you are paying back in the 5 pleasurable offerings, here to the guests of the 4 guests. And the last guest is the spirit, negative forces. Also the negative forces you come along, you also have some kind of karmic debt to them. They're not spirit all the time. They could be human in the past. Now they're born in the realm of spirit, and you have some kind of relationship in the past. So basically a lot of karmic debts. So like we say, this person do bad thing, and then, we say, yeah, that person, if you're really angry, you say, oh, he or she deserves that, what's been bad to me, Or then, so then one bad thing, next bad thing, people, we go through a chain reaction of unceasing, continuous, like paying back. Paying back. There comes in all kinds of forms. All kinds of forms. Sometimes as your relative, sometimes as your friend, sometimes as your enemy. Like continuous something is going on in your life. Never-ending situation. Those are all karmic debts. And then one time Soksir Muj was telling me, you harm someone, and of course that consequence will continue, cause and effect. And that person harms you, and that person get harmed by another person, and that person get harmed by another person. So it's like a really unceasing, continuous problem in life. There's so many karmic debts we have. So if you, for example, if you abuse someone physically, no question, there is a retribution afterwards. Whether in this life or later life or next life, it will come to you. So anything with dualistic phenomena, as long as we live in dualistic phenomena, there is hope and fear. As long as there is hope and fear, there is no end to obstacle, because we create incredible karma through that. Ego and hope and fear is the root cause of which creates karma. So the ultimate aim is to transcend karma, to achieve, our clear light, wisdom, mind. For that, first we have to also deal with our present situation, like our, all kinds of relative problems. So therefore, this practice is combined how you can find balance in your life, healthy life, happy life, your practice to go well, no obstacle, your families and friends, everyone to be healthy and happy. So, basically it is an inclusive practice generally. I don't have time to go through everything, I'm going to so generate a compassionate mind for healing for everyone, oneself and others. Okay, so now we will go. Then the next is Namka Parnang Saji Tamche Kyape Dute Samki Mikyapa Mitsangwe Tima Nyekyun Tamche Jongwara Chepe Yundi Kyapara Chendan Dempe Yongsu Kangwara Gyur. The inconceivable smoky cloud endowed with a special capacity to dispel all impurities, defilements and faults pervade the entire sky, space and earth. Then Nama, the next mantra is, multiply that food and offering. Not just a small one, but like the entire space is filled with that through this mantra. Nama, there's a mudra also, like Nama Sarva Tata Gata Baye Bishu Mukhe Sarva Tegam Ukate Sapar Ima Gakana Kam Soha. 3 times this mantra. Nama sarva tatha gate bayebish mugube sarva te gam uga saparana imaka kanakam soha Nama sarva tata gata bayebish mugube sarva te gam uga Saparana imaka kanakam soha benza saparanakam. So if you don't know the mudra, don't worry, you can just say it. If you know the mudra, that's, of course, right now you have to learn. So if you, without the mantra, without the mudra, it's also fine. So Namo Daki Sampe Toptani Tishin Shekpe Jindo Shuki Yinki Topnamki Simche Namla Penda Tönam Kanta Samba Kun Teta Tamchi Chiri Tokpa Mepa Junguruchi. Invoking the power of my intention, the power of the generosity of the one thus gone, and the power of the sphere of reality, may all the aims and all the wishes, all of them, whatever they are, be fulfilled without obstruction for the sake of sentient beings. Then Keke, pray, listen. Simje Kunkyang Mari Tepe Nul, Nyomong Tungi, Yishe Langa Nul. Gosum mige lunga yisum nul, dultim nyampe luki kanto nul, tamsi nyampe dorje lope nul, soktoro chungwe matang kanto nul, punyam laume chokyong sungma nul, sena sakpe kasung tamje nul, dingzin chukpe sipe mamo nul, Sedung trukpe chedang chamdel nun, shedang trukpe shiwe lanam nun, ngagel trukpe gepe lanam nun, deja trukpe wanki lanam nol. So let's go back to English translation, page 3. All sentient beings are contaminated by the darkness of ignorance. The 5 poisonous delusions contaminate the 5 wisdom. The non-virtues of the 3 doors contaminate the body, speech, and mind. Degeneration of ethical conduct contaminates the body, dakinis. Degeneration of samaya contaminates the Vajra master. Miserly offering of feasts and torma contaminate the mother goddesses and dakinis. Offering the leftover instead of the first portion contaminates the Dharma protectors and guardians. Accumulating with miserliness contaminates the oath-bound protector of the doctrine. Disturbed concentration contaminates the mundane mother goddesses. Confused affectionate love contaminates Vajra brothers and sisters. Disturbing hatred contaminates the peaceful deities. Disturbing pride contaminates the increasing deity. Disturbing attachment contaminates the empowering deities. Then in Tibetan, Taudo Trupe, Tapu Ranam Nul, Timu Trupe, Salche Ranam, Karmara Tavsho, Nyempo Nul, Misang Taki, Kimla Nyempo Nul, Misang Timi Goinga Planam, Kepara Misang, Pime Pangmi. Parsum lalu nyenam kimda nul lunga yidang dala tala nul. Okay, page 5. Disturbing jealousy contaminates the wrathful deities. Disturbing ignorance contaminates the clarifying deities. The bad smell from the smoke of burned white and rasam contaminates the local deities. Fighting and quarreling contaminates the traveling deities. An unclean hearth contaminates the household deities. Impure smell contaminates the refuge deity. And especially bird pollution contaminates the deities, nagas and spirit, who reside on the surface of the earth, on ground, and on the space. These also contaminate the innermost deities, the wealth deities, the household deities, and the landlord, the body, speech, and mind, as well as the war and envious deities. Then, Keke, pray listen. Lunul luki dangyam, luto pshor, gojo röto najing, migmi sel, nganul kega kukching, mami de, chenla manjing, nasul sulso tang, yinul yimi dejing, tsekpa sa. Contamination of the body, after the prayer listen, contamination of the body makes one complexion dull and weakens the body. It provokes unclear sight and pain in the head, neck, and trunk. Contamination of the speech makes one choke or stammer when speaking or mute. It provokes excessive saliva and mucus and swelling of the mouth and the root of the tongue. Contamination of the mind generates unhappiness, irritation. So this is basically working with the subtle level of our body, means subtle energy. Like for example, I've experienced, if you go to like I don't know, you can experience yourself. When you go to like a shopping, like a grocery store, when you get to the meat section, all those things, you feel heavy right away, I feel. You go to like a dry clean place, laundry place, where everyone's dirt and energy is washing, you step in, you feel heavy. And then that creates mental unhappiness, that creates your energy to go down, and it brings many other things. So those needs to be purified. You can check it out, Also it can happen in a hospital. When you go, there's a lot of suffering and pain and heavy energy that can also have, to purify all these subtle, impure energies, which is the basis of our health and well-being, mental as well as physical. So this is what purification, all of those. Jengi, page 7. Jengi niktip jingsing tsenmu yer, gonul gokoro migdip nawa won, yenla nolwe shatum tingching na, pose nolwe meeting sakara mang, mose nolwe siki keto che, gyapte nolwe shi lemi dup, dala nolwe dasi tekra dang, chela nolwe gotham tokdang del, dunla nolwe dunam demi dup, shila nolwe shila demi zup, yula nolwe nangchuk muke chung, kangla nolwe tsikching tsakda jin, dala nolna shuljing dogyuru mang, nola nolwe tongsing pelmi gyur, chugla nolwe puji tengin chung, shingla nolna shingsa kulpuru tong. Page 7. Forgetfulness, sleepiness, and drowsiness like nightfall in the mind. Contamination of the head provokes dizziness, obscures sight, and deafness. Contamination of the limb causes paralysis, arthritis, and numbness. Contamination of the male organ provokes impotence and excess of lymphatic veins. Contamination of the female organ causes sterility. Contamination of the support impedes the accumulation of basic activities. Contamination of the warrior deity causes the enemy to attack directly. Contamination of the traveling deities make one confused and parted from friends. Contamination of the guest deity impedes the guests from their aim. Contamination of the family deity causes restlessness. Contamination of the local deity provokes civil war and famine. Contamination of the deity of the house causes clucking sound. Contamination of the deity of sound causes opposition and rejection. Contamination of the wealth deity provokes loss and decline. Contamination of the livestock deity causes balding and inauspicious omen. Contamination of the field deity diminishes the field. Page 9. Tabla nolna jume dongjin gor. Togla nolna zakara gongpo juk. Kosul nolna kore nosul dun. Tapo nolna gelda gola nyam. Goki nolna kega sensation. Kachi nolna marab lemo shum. Wangtang nolna jengi wangpo shum. Lungte lanul semtro temi dup. Luki lanul niti tempa nyam. Luki lunul shagul sharo dang. Tagla nolna tagdang sidang nyam. Captain lasung nolna semi de. Lula nolna shachuro nyam top chung. Runu rukun zukching simpu dang. Tagnul tigle medung nakta za. Pagnul chupuru doljing zatuk che. Page 9. Contamination of the heart deity makes the food deficient in nutrient, lacking in bewitch. Contamination with deity of gain causes epidemic demons to enter the food. Contamination of weapon causes armor to tear and sharp blades to go blunt. Contamination of the stallion causes spine, mane, head, and limbs to degenerate. Contamination of the watchdog impatient from barking deteriorates his olfactory sense. Contamination of one's good fortune causes insanement by immoral people. Contamination of power causes forgetfulness and weaken the sense. Contamination of the deity of success makes the mind scattered and prevent the accomplishment of one's goal. Contamination of the deity of the body causes sleepiness and loss of mindfulness. Contamination of the naga of the body makes one's flesh produce. Contamination of the shoulder deity causes one's sheen and luster to degenerate. Contamination of the supporting guarding deity provokes unhappiness. Contamination of the deity of body causes deterioration of the muscles and weakening of one's strength. Contamination of the bones provoke pain and harm by parasites. Contamination of the blood provoke loss of the essential drop and separation of the bloodiness. Then page 11. Chugyu tsanul shatum tikjing tang. Punul punam jijing loki tul. Shenyang menul sognul muki nul. Yukse nul tang rapche pomu nul. Nalpu mosen tasen zakpe nul. Senul kunul tapsho kungi nul. Shiwe tursi sumpe nangme nul. Dikche shempa nasin tivu nul. Punyam misang yedan luki nul. Tela sokpe nul tiv tamche kun. Jungwe tangma ngale tupa yi. Sala tenjing chuyi raptu len. Mei tuke lungi rapkyope. Sawa lui nene kepe shing. Semo lai nesu mimpe shing. Loda mi nesu kyape shing. Page 11. Contamination of the ligaments, sinew, and nerve causes arthritis, numbness, and swelling. Contamination of the hair provokes hair loss and scarring. Moreover, contamination due to insects or the murder of blood relation, filth, or stupidity. Contamination due to mourning of one's spouse or due to a childless couple. Contamination due to an illegitimate child or dripping menstruation. Contamination due to food, clothing, or smoke. Contamination of the heart due to resentment, and contamination due to zombies. Contamination due to those who murder blood relations, sinners, butchers, oath breakers, or murderers. Contamination due to degenerate and unclean offering made during a ransom offering. All this contamination and all other contaminated pollution can be cleansed by wood from trees arising from the five pure elements, supported by the earth, moistured by water, nurtured by the warmth of fire, and energized by the wind movement. Trees that have grown their roots in the Naga land, their peaks reaching the God's realm, their leaves and petals blossoming in the human world. Ti chonam malu kyape shing, kato tiru nuchu dempe shing, Sangcho zenden karmar akaru, sirshin kempa yushin shukpa tang, dongshin palu takpa penkara tang, ompu banyu nyati sergo tang, pushing, mushing, pushing, shingne so, tepu sumgara sangchu mene so, tiden runu katang kawe ri, nede chotang sowa yunkar tang, druna karna drui rikche tang, tarzab rinchi tichu chemara tang, sirkim changtang shingdo kuwe chu, karsum putang arsum tangma tang, shata laso wangpo namnge sur, chingi lape tamze karmar tang, kukul kana tibu nazo so, chinang sangsum noltip salwe ze, mesik chutu lungi raptorwe, namka shindu tongpara gyurpe ngam, ramli kepe mela sekpa yi, ticho tisuru namba naso ki, ishe dime ngangdu sangyurchi. Page 13. Their sin pervading all direction without exception. Trees possessing color, smell, taste, potency, and energy. Among the wood, the supreme ones are red and white sandalwood, aloe woods, searching, artemisia, yushing, juniper, small yellow rhododendron, birchwood, white blossoming tamarisk, neem, bamboo, nyatri, and golden flower, male wood, female wood, child wood, and various woods, the 3 sweet fruits, 6 excellent substances, and various medicine, bitter and estrogen endowed with scent, taste, and potency, barley, rice, wheat, unhusked grain, mustard seed, many kinds of white and black grains, and so forth, fine brocades, precious gem, dairy extract, and roasted barley flour mixed with butter, sirkim offerings such as beer and syrup extract from fruit juice, the first portion with 3 whites and 3 pure sweets, meat, blood, and other burnt offering of the 5 cents, and the blessed white and red pledged substance. Likewise, black and white frankincense and many kinds of fragrant incense. These substances eliminate outer, inner, and secret contaminated pollution. Burnt in fire, washed with water, and well blown by wind, they become empty like space. From the latter rum appear 5 rich blazing burns, the supreme fragrance in the various burnt offering, in the sphere of exalted wisdom, free of obscuration. Pray, listen. Mari wanke nolna rangchung yishe sang. Tunge wanke nolna ringe sangye sang. Gos mege nolna kusum lanam sang. Dultim shikpe nolna luki kandro sang. Punyam lakme nolna chugyong sungma sang. Soktoro chungwe nolna madang kandro sang. Tamsi nyampe nolna dorje lopun sang. Sedung trukpe nolna chedang chamdel sang. Page 15. If contamination occurs due to ignorance, we purify the self-originated wisdom through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to 5 poison, we purify the 5 Buddha families through this incense offering. If contamination with 3 doors occurs by non-virtue, we purify the deities with 3 kayas through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to broken commitment, we purify the body dakinis through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to offering the leftover instead of the first portion, we purify the garden protector through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to the miserly feast and torma offering, we purify the mother goddesses and dakinis through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to the degenerated pledge, we purify the Vajra master through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to confused affectionate love, we purify the Vajra brother and sister through this incense offering. Page 17. Tamze nangre nolna tsangri gompo sang. Sena sape nona nola yangla sang. Kundi misang nona kasung tamchen sang. Sedung trukpe nona kasung tamchen sang. Tingzin trukpe nona sipe mamu sang. Sedung trukpe nona nyingje donam sang. Shedang trukpe nona shiwe lanam sang. Ngagel trukpe nona gepe lanam sang. Deja trukpe nona wangi lanam sang. Chado trukpe nona chakpe lanam sang. Timu trukpe nona selche lanam sang. Page 18. Nudip trukpe nona yula nyempo sang. Tapgun trukpe nona kimla nyempo sang. Nyamcha time nona lakpe lanam sang. Mizang ti nona goingyab lanam sang. Page 17. If contamination occurs due to mixing pleasure substance, we purify the Lord of Sangri through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to miserly accumulation, we purify the deity of good fortune through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the enmity and impurity, we purify the oath-bound gardens through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the disturbed concentration, we purify the mundane mother goddess through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the distorted love, we purify all the guests of compassion through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of hatred, we purify the peaceful deity through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of pride, we purify the increasing deity through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of desirous attachment, we purify the empowering deities through the incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of jealousy, we purify the wrathful deity through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of ignorance, we purify the clarifying deities through this incense offering. If contamination occurs due to the affliction of harm, we purify the local deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the affliction of quarrels and resentment, we purify the household deities through the incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the defilements of impaired commitment, we purify the exalted deity through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the impure smell, we purify the protector refuge deity through this incense offering. Page 19. Rabche tursi nona siki lhanam sang. Nazin tivu nona pola dala sang. Dikjin shempe nona lakpe lhanam sang. Miyu mizang nona sangche lhanam sang. Shimpe rodip nona takla nyampo sang. Sumpe pangme nona gowe langa sang. Tapki nona kangla dala sang. Jobki nona pala mala sang. Yukse nona mala puji sang. Luchi nona linki lanam sang. Ngangnu sungye chakdong lanam sang. Yinu tenche seldong lanam sang. Yela nona chela dunla sang. Page 19. If contaminations occurs due to barrenness in charnel ground spirit, we purify the deities of existence through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the oath eaters and murder, we purify the deities of the men and enemy deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the negative beings and butchers, we purify the supreme deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the filth and murder of blood relation, we purify the purifying deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to the pollution of crops, we purify the envy deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to murder of blood relatives and zombies, we purify the 5 deities of individual through this incense offering. If earth-owning contamination occurs, we purify the household deities and earth-owning deities through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to scorching, we purify the father deity and the mother deity through this incense offering. If contaminations occur due to windowhood, we purify the nurse causes through this incense offering. If contamination of the body in general occurs, we purify the innate deities through this incense offering. If contamination of the speech occurs, we purify the melodious deities of sound emptiness through this incense offering. If contamination of the mind occurs, we purify the mindful deities of clarity, emptiness through this incense offering. If contamination of the limbs occurs, we purify the traveling and guest deities through this incense offering. Keke Mukpa Tangpara Chekpe Lanam Sang Tepa Sangwara Chepe Lanam Sang Sangcho Yewara Chepe Lanam Sang Nolwa Sangwara Chepe Lanam Sang Kepara Mezang Pume Pangme Yi Dengo Parsum Lalu Nyela So Pugla Gonur Kimla Kimda Tang Lunga Yitang Dala Tagla Tang Nola Yangla Gonur Longchula Nuldip Mitsang Time Gopanam Zishing Mencho Tisuru Naso Tang Chinang Sangsum de Yu Pamiki Mizam Nuldip Nolwa Sangyuru Chik. Okay. So then, page 21, we offer this cleansing incense to the deities, they illuminate liturgy. We offer this cleansing incense to deities, they illuminate gloominess. We offer this cleansing incense to deities, they separate purity from filth. We offer this cleansing offering to the deities that purify contamination, especially birth pollution. Deities, nagas, and spirit who reside on the surface of the earth, underground or in space. The inner deities, door, wealth, households, and landlord. The body, speech, and mind, as well as warriors and shoulder deities. Wealth deities, fortune deities, and clothes, wealth, and possession. May all these which are defiled by contamination and impure pollution be completely cleansed by the multitudes of plants and supreme medicinal herb, by the fragrance of the burnt offering, and by the immeasurable offering of the outer, inner, and secret sensory enjoyment. Keke, pray listen. Shingsi tizang menki tupa. Okay, Jim, please tell him to bring the incense now. Let's open the window. Yeah, because the smoke can, it'll be better. Not from here, because smoke is coming from there. Maybe this side. Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah, some of the windows. Okay, good. Thank you. Don't open that one because there's smoke and the sound of the smoke alarm is so loud. So first now particular first to the Lama Yitam Dakinis, Dharmapalas, then all human beings. So the smoke will pour, and then you should, take the incense and the purification and healing thing. Is that all? There's no more smoke? It's a little bit. Okay. Okay. Take it first to the shrine, then to the Dharmapala room, and then to us. First to the shrine. Okay, let's read, please. Page 22. Shingsi tizang mengi tupa di at the bottom of the page 22. Shingsi Tizang Menki Dupa Di Lama Yitam Nolwa Sangyuru Chik Yishe Hanam Tsoki Nolguru Na Mena Tsindin Ti Sangyuru Chik Jigdel Hanam Tsoki Nolguru Na Pökara Shingni Ti Sangyuru Chik Masin Kandro Tsoki Nolguru Na Gana Badai Ti Sangyuru Chik Chogyong Sungma Tsoki Nolguru Na Shata Naso Ti Sangyuru Chik Sangri Gompo. Bring more incense, like, if you have juniper or things like that, more smoke. Shata Naso Ti Sangyuru Chik Sangri, last on the page 23, Sangri Gompo Tsoki Nolguru Na Karsum Ngarsum Ti Sangyuru Chik Sasin Digi Tsoki Nolguru Na Shingsi Mincho Ti Sangyuru Chik Kasung Tamchin Tsoki Nolguru Na Chemara Okul Ti Sangyuru Chik Hanam Mizang Tsoki Nolguru Na Pökara Yushu Ti Sangyuru Chik Lunam Mizang Tsoki Nolguru Na Lumen Naso Ti Sangyuru Chik. So then, may the excellent, page 22, may the excellent fragrant smoke of these plants and medicinal herb cleanse the contamination of the gurus and yidam, various medicine and sandalwood. If worldly deities become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of the sultry incense. If mother, sister, and dakinis become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of Gandhra Badra. If Dhamma protectors and guardians become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance. If the good smell, please if Dhamma protector and guardian become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of various types of meat and blood. If the Lord of Sangri become polluted by impurities, may he be cleansed by the fragrance of 3 wines and 3 sweets. If the 8 classes of deities and demons become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of supreme medicinal sap. If oath-bound guardians of the doctrine become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of flour mixed with butter and boiled milk. If all the deities become polluted by impurities, may they be purified by the fragrance of salty incense and trochus juniper. If the Nagas become polluted by the impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of the various Nagas' medicine. If the deities of the land become polluted by the impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of the colorful brocades, tigers, and leopard. If the landlords become polluted by the impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of nyatri and golden flower. If the land-owning deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of birchwood and rhododendron. If the local spirit become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of golden artemisia. If the regional deities are polluted by Guyana. Okay, so now page 22. May the excellent, did we read this? Huh? Which, page which? 26. 24 or 26? My one says 24. Can you say which word? I kind of lost track. Karsum Ngarsum. On which page? Top of page 26. But no, the English translation we have. 25. We did. Oh, so we should read from the page 25. Okay. If the deities of the land become polluted by impurity, huh? On the page 25. So we should do the English, which page? Tibetan 25. Okay. So then, page 25, right? Nyinam mizang zoki nolgyuruna tarsun taksi ti sangyuru chik sada mizang zoki nolgyuruna nyadi sirgu ti sangyuru chik nyinam mizang zoki nolgyuruna takpa surkar ti sangyuru chik shida mizang zoki nolgyuruna kempa sirdo ti sangyuru chik Yula mizang zoki nuguruna, banyu karsum ti sanguru chik, nola mizang zoki nolguruna, chemra pakim ti, chemra sepu ti sanguru chik, yangla mizang zoki nolguruna, rinchin naso ti sanguru chik, kangla mizang zoki nolguruna, Tarzab naso ti sanguru chik, tabla mizang zoki nolguru na. Okay, so then page 25. If the deities of the land become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified with the fragrance of colorful brocade tigers and leopard. If the landlord become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified with the fragrance of nyati and golden flower. If the land-owning deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified with the fragrance of birch wood and rhododendron. If the local spirit become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of golden artemisia. If the regional deities are polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of bamboo and tree wise. If the wealth deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of the flow of milk and butter and the first portion of food. If the fortune deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of various precious gems. If the home deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of various brocade. If the heart deities become polluted by impurities and filth, they be purified. Suppose you mean. Shapu changpu ti sanguru chik, shingla mizang zoki nolguru na, druzen naso ti sanguru chik, pola. Around center? No need. It's all the smoke is going everywhere, so no need to take around. But I would like a little bit more smoke inside. It's too little smoke. Yeah. Yeah, go inside. Yes, please. Yes. So let's do again from the page 27, beginning. Shapu changpu ti sanguru chik, shingla mizang zoki nolguru na, duzen na so ti sanguru chik, pola mizang zoki nolguru na, tarzun na so ti sanguru chik, Dala mizang zoki nolguru na, chemra pakim ti sanguru chik. Take it to zoki nolguru na, dekara chichu ti sanguru chik, donla mizang zoki nolguru na, shachang sirkim ti sanguru chik, songla mizang zoki nolguru na, Sashing surkara ti sanguru chik, lula mizang zoki nolguru na, kukuruka na ti sanguru chik, kya planam zoki nolguru na, shingde medo ti sanguru chik. Page 27. May they be purified by the fragrance of per portion of meat and beer. If the field deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of various flowers. If the deities of men become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of various banners. If the enemy deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of roasted barley flour with butter and hero's drink. If the traveling deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of white rice and dairy. If the guest deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of meat, beer, and libation. If the deities of the trade become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of the divine tree and rhododendron. If the deities of their bodies are polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of black and white frankincense. If the protected deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of fruit and flowers. Rikshel hanam tsoki nolguru na yushu paluti sanguruchik. Gyabdel hanam tsoki nolguru na pöna shingni ti sanguruchik. Luki kusun tsoki nolguru na lacha mini ti sanguruchik. Senoro longchu tsoki nolguru na Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik, shelgong shindu chenang salgyuruchik. Page 29. If the knowledge deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of turquoise, juniper, and rhododendron. If the supporting deities become polluted by impurities and filth, may they be purified by the fragrance of various kinds of incense and wood. If the body armor become polluted by impurities and filth, may it be purified by the fragrance of divine water and various medicine. If food, wealth, and possession become polluted by filth, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of supreme wood. May all become clear inside and outside, just like an oval-shaped crystal. Keke lama yitam nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik pao khandro nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik chokyong sungma nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik pola leke nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Sangri hanam nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Lasin dege nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Jigden kyongwa nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Tengi hanam nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Parki nyenam nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Oki lunam nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Shida neda nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Chedang chamde nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik Jigden lasung nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuruchik. Then page 30. Even if the gurus and the tutelary deities are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. Even if the heroes and dakinis are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. Even if the Dhamma protectors and guardians are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. Even if the messenger and helpers are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. Even if the Lord of Sangri is polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. Even if the 8 classes of deities and demons are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the worldly gardens are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the deities above are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the power between are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the Nagas are residing below are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the landlords, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the siblings, partners are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the mundane deities and purified, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Shila Nesa Nova Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Gyuki Lasung Nova Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Gowe Hanga Nova Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Mala Puzi Nova Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Tala Chukpe Nowa Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Nola Chukpo Nowa Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Lugla Mempo Nowa Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Rala Sermo Nowa Yona Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Shingla Sangpa Nowa Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyur Chi. Even if the ground of one's abode is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the protected deities of Tantra are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. May they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the nurse goddess is polluted, may she be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the horse deity Pempu is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the well deities called Chukpo are purified, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the sheep deity Mempu is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the goat deity Termo is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the deity Brahma is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Pugla metung ketung nolna yang, Pugla ketung nolwa yona yang, Singcho tizang menki sangyuru chik. Gola Tagya Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Tabla Yumo Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Pola Dala Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Nola Yangla Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Chugla Zola Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Sela Tola Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik Chela Dola Nova Yuna Yang Singcho Tizang Mengi Sangyuru Chik. Page 35. Second line. Even if the inner deity Getung is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the Do deity Takyak is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the heart deity Yulmu is purified, may she be purified by medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the deities of men and warriors are polluted, may they be purified with the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the wealth and fortune deities are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the cattle deities and treasury deities are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the friendly deities are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the traveling deities and guest deities are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Again, bring the smoke, please. Yeah, bring the smoke again. Keke dacha neljuro punlo korche ki latang sungma nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik lakang time nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik laku peltap nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik lagi lablup nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik lasu nongara nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang nolwa menki sangyuru chik laze rogya nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik latung sirkim nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik lada sembo nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik. Even if the deities and protectors of all of us, yogis, teachers, and our retinue are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the stainless temples become polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine garments, robes, and armors are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine manifold ornaments are polluted, may they be purified by the fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Yes, please take it to the Dhammapada shrine room and bring it here. Even if the divine powerful sharp weapons are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine food of the 100 flavor is polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine drinks and libation polluted, may they be purified medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine might hall sempo is polluted, may they be purified. Yeah, everyone. Okay. Then page 39. Sayak shulpo nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Salu chomo nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Sara tawo nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Sungme tamze nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Sungme jinsi nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Chuze drubze nolwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Tenze naso nowa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Lasung tukdang galwa yona yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik. Even if the divine yak jolpo is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine grey sheep dromo is polluted, may she be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the divine mortal goat drawo is polluted, may he be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the pledged substance of the protectors are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the pleasing protectors are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the offering substance and ritual objects are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if the various supposed substances are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even their opposition to the holy minds of deities and protectors, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Ke, pray, listen. Dacha lupun menu korcheki siki wangtang nolwa yuna yang Sangcho tizang menki sangyuru chik Kepe Chiyang Nolwa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji So Loyang Nowa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Shunu Payang Nowa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Kempe Tebyang Nolwa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Mangpe Tsoyang Nolwa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Tapu Gyogyang Nolwa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Chuki Pelyang Nolwa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji Seki Chuyang Nowa Yona Yang Shingjo Tizang Mengi Sanguruji. Page 41. Even if the temporal power of us all, people, teachers, students, and our positions are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious tongue of the scholar is polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious mind of the Lord is polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Wood. Even if their pollution of the youth auspicious courage, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the dexterous one's auspicious thumb is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal. Please take it away now. Thank you. Even if the auspicious accumulation, abundance is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious swiftness of stallions is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious flourishing of cattle is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious nutritious capacity of food is polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious power of the king is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. I think now we have to read this in Tibetan first. Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Sempe Tobyang Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Pempe Taryang Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Senju Pensum Nolwa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Shenyang Neljuro Dacha Korchiki Kyempe Perku Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Takpe Kosun Nolwa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Dongwe Sekum Nolwa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Shima Nesa Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangiruji Dukpe Melte Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangyurji. Even if the auspicious power of the king is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious possessions of wealth are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the auspicious flourishing of the effluent is polluted, may it be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the king, the wealthy, and the affluent, and moreover the clothes and robe of us are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the armor and weapons that are worn are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the food and drinks are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Even if the residence and abodes are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Wood. Even if the carpet we sit on are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Wood. Menu Rigi Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangyuruji Tendang Guki Nowa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangyuruji Seno Longchu Nolwa Yuna Yang Shingcho Tezang Mengi Sangyuruji toptang natang nolwa yuna yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuru wa yuna yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuru chik sedang sunam nolwa yuna yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuru chik kaje wangtang nolwa yuna yang Sangcho tizang mengi sangyuru chik. Page 45. Even if the people, fortune, and lineage are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if their servants and watchdogs are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if food, wealth, and possessions are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if power and influence are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Buddha. Even if sheen and lusters are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Even if lifespans and merits are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Buddha. Even if strength and good fortune are polluted, may they be purified by the medicinal fragrance of Supreme Buddha. Keke, pre-listen, Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonda korcheki, nyomung tunge dunga sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi, docha legiru lungne sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi, shedang lejung tine sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi, timu lejung pekin sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi, duwa namshi nenam sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi, ninglung gyargong nenam sangyuru chik. Sangcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yonki dapoyi. Page 47. Me, the generous benefactor and the retinue, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme and wood purify the attachment from which arise wind disease. In me and the generous benefactors, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify hatred from which arise bile. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify ignorance which arise phlegm disease. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance supreme wood purify all the disease of fourfold gathering. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the heart wind disease related to Gyalpo spirit. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purifies the torment of lung related to nagas and violent sense spirit. To me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purifies all the liver disease related to landlord spirit. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance supreme wood purify the disease of golden spleen and lungs relate to Riwo spirit. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicine fragrance supreme wood purify kidney disease relate to Nagas and Yin spirit. Okay, page 49, Tibetan. Loze lucin nenam sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dapo yi, shingyu sada nenam sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dapo yi, selo tiwu nenam sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dapo yi, keltum lunye nenam sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dapo yi, pochong yegong nenam sangyuru chik, Sangcho Tizang Mengi Tupadi Dadang Gyujuru Yunki Dapo Yi Godang Yenla Nenam Sangyuru Chik Sangcho Tizang Mengi Tupadi Dadang Gyujuru Yunki Dapo Yi Shadang Pakpe Nenam Sangyuru Chik Sangcho Tizang Mengi Tupadi Dadang Gyujuru Yunki Dapo Yi Chakdang Chusre Nenam Sangyuru Chik Sangcho Tizang Mengi Tupadi Dadang Gyujuru Yunki Dapo Yi Rudang Simpu Nenam Sangyuru Chik Sangcho Tizang Mengi Tupadi Dadang Gyujuru Yunki Dapo Yi. Page 50. In me and the generous benefactor, may this metal fragrance of supreme wood purify chronic stomach disease in a bewitched mind. In me and generous factor, may this mineral fragrance of supreme wood purify all the disease of head and limbs. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the disease of flesh and skin. In me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the disease of blood and lymph. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the disease of bones and those caused by parasite. In me and generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the disease of channels, ligaments, and nerves. Sadang chugyu nenam sangyuru chik, shingcho zang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dakpo yi, dangdang wangpo nyampa sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dakpo yi, ugdang namshi nyampa sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dakpo yi, paltang tutop nyampa sangyur chik. In me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the degeneration of complexion and sense. In me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the generation of breath and consciousness. In me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the degeneration of glory and mighty power. In me and the generous benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance supreme wood purifies. Dadang gyujuru yungi dakpo yi, sedang sonam nyampa sangyuru chik, shingcho tizang mengi tupadi, dadang gyujuru yungi dakpo yi, kaje wangtang nyampa sangyuru chik, shenyang dacha punlo korche la, menul soki noltang tipki nol, shingcho tizang mengi sangyuru chik, 탑당 shopki noltang yukse nol, shingcho tizang mengi sangyuruchi, chiche rapche dasen nulpu nol, shingcho tizang mengi sangyuruchi, zejin chongpo tamnyam tipki nol, shingcho tizang mengi sangyuruchi. The degeneration of lifespan and merit in me and generation benefactor, may this medicinal fragrance of supreme wood purify the degeneration of good fortune and strength in me and generous factor. In me and generous factor, and may it be purified. Furthermore, may we teachers and assembly of disciples contaminated due to murder of blood relatives and pollution, be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. May those contaminated by pollution of the heart or by scourging be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. May those contaminated by adultery, sterility, menstruation, or illegitimate child be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. May those contaminated by leprosy, impaired health, or the pollution of degenerate pleasures be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the supreme wood. May those tichin tingin chendang mukti nul Sangcho Tizang Menki Sangyuru Chik Shibu Tursi Sumbu Pangme Nul Sangcho Tizang Menki Sangyuru Chik Dikshin Shampa Nazin Tivu Nul Sangcho Tizang Menki Sangyuru Chik Punyam Mizang Yedang Luki Nul Sangcho Tizang Menki Sangyuru Chik Shenyang Mizang Nulti Malu Kun Sangcho Tizang Menki Tisuruki Namka Tintele Shintu Sangyuru Chik Nida Sakura Shintu Salgyuru Chik Dawa Yarngu Shintu Palgyuru Chik Medo Dabtung Shintu Geguru Chik Tungi Drugda Shintu Mingyuru Chik Chapsi Lumpu Shintu Tengyuru Chik Godu Nurpu Shintu Junguru Chik Chögü Nida Shintu Salgyuru Chik Korbang Karsok Shintu Pelgyuru Chik Nurchuk Sishing Shintu Geguru Chik Nyenda Drugda Shintu Kyabgyuru Chik Sering Neme Dedang Dengyuru Chik Logya Soshing Tungya Tungyuru Chik Trashi Dele Pusum Gyuru Chik. Page 55. May those contaminated by fragrant stench and dull smell be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. May those contaminated by the undead, the living who murdered their blood relatives, be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. May those contaminated by negative beings, butchers, oath eaters, and murderers, be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. May those contaminated by unclean offering made during a ransom rituals be purified by the medicinal fragrance of the Supreme Buddha. Moreover, through this medicinal fragrance of Supreme Buddha, may all the impurities and contamination without exception be purified, become like a cloudless sky. May all the luminous like the sun, the moon, and the stars. May all increase like the waxing moon. May all blossom like a 1,000-petal flower. May all ripen like a 6 kinds of grains in autumn. May the government be stable like Mount Meru. May all needs and hopes are fulfilled like wish-granting jewel. May the Dharma lineage shine forth like the sun and moon. May retinues and disciples multiply like galaxies. May cattle increase like vegetation. May fame and reputation prevail like thunder. May we possess long life, good health, be free of sickness, and have happiness. May we live 100 years and see 100 autumns. May all be auspicious, happy, and prosperous. Thank you. Padmasambhava's vision. And how this practice came into existence. When the king of Tibet in the 8th century, the queen has an affair, and an illegitimate child was born. And the queen was so afraid to tell the king. So what she did, she with a maid, they went to the spot on a mountain, and basically, I think the child died, and they buried the body on an energy spot. They didn't know. So for example, feng shui, this is where the feng shui comes. When you first, let's say you're building a house, there's a diagram, feng shui making, like the navel point. If you happen to the right energy spot of the navel point of the diagram, then everything positive energy will come to that house where you live. If you happen to hit the legs, then a lot of disturbance will come. So this is those who know how to do that feng shui, so it's a chance, where you are. So she hit it that on a spot, which is a very powerful point, but, a dead body. And that disturbed all the local spirit and the energy, it created very negative energy where there was no rain and calamity and a lot of negative things happen. And so when that happens, then the king got very sick. When the king got very sick, they did call the astrologer. The astrologers, some impurities have happened. And then they call the doctors. The king got very heavy, dull, sick. And then at that time, then finally the word spread out that there was, the queen has a illegitimate child. And then she was so afraid the king could, those kings are powerful, they can chop the head or whatever happened in England. so then she went to Padmasambhava's protection. She said, then Padmasambhava said, don't worry, I will talk to the king. And then Padmasambhava told the king, me Padmasambhava, who can transform phenomena, don't worry, please forgive the queen. Padmasambhava kind of like mediate or whatever, brought peace between the king and the queen. And then Padmasambhava did this ceremony which purified all the impure, whatever created by that cause. And then after this practice, then the rain came and everything became cleansed, prosperous, king got healthy, all the thing back. So this is a brief story about how this practice came into existence. So actually, when you do this practice, you will feel a sense of, lightness, clarity. So it's very beneficial practice for what it really shows, this practice, how to cleanse from this energy level. Energy level. This is all talking about energy level. Because we deal from the grosser level of, by the time we deal, everything is gross. We don't know how to deal with the energy level. So like energy level, I was telling you, like a laundry place or like a butcher place. Like for example, if you go to San Quentin prison in San Francisco, when you get there, you feel very disturbed, or like prison, where there's a lot of energy built up, of pain and suffering. So that's all like impure energy is still lying there. So therefore, those needs to be purified. And it can happen in our homes. And when that happens, then for unknown reason, people feel not happy, people fighting, things like that happens. So when that happens, if you do this practice, it will purify. And you can see a change happening, positive change happening. So therefore, this is a very powerful practice. And the way to do it, you have to make a smoke. And of course, in America, doing any ceremony is not easy, the alarm goes off and this and that. And in Tibet, it's no problem. In the mountains, you can make as big smoke as you like, and no problem. So anyway, it's very beneficial practice. And then there's a Riwo Sangcho practice, which is smaller, short practice. I found personally from my own experience, there's shorter practice. When I sometimes, if I go to like a laundry place and I have to give them my dry clean clothes, or go to like a grocery store, especially in all the meat section, then I feel very heavy right there. So when I come, then I do a shorter version of this practice, and then it just cleanses it away. Very powerful. You can experience that. And when your mind is, there's no obscuration, energy obscuration, then your mind feels compassionate. Then your mind feels clear. But when those things come, it's like a cloud hanging down. And then all your emotion, thoughts, they get very disturbance. So therefore, these practices are meant for that. And also, one part you saw, the ignorance create. In the Tibetan medicine, those who study Tibetan medicine, I've never studied Tibetan medicine. Now today there's a book on Tibetan medicine translated called Gyuji. There are four major viewpoints in the Tibetan medicine. And in that they explain the cause of the phlegm, how it comes, the cause of all. We all have a constitution of wind, phlegm, and bile. These are the three main constituents. People of phlegm nature, people of wind nature, people of phlegm nature. Like people of phlegm nature doesn't get angry easily. They're very patient generally, but when they get angry, then they really get angry. So there's the people of phlegm nature. People of wind are always agitated, kind of little bit, like a little bit things can stir up thing, and sleeping problem or even hypertension. Those are people of wind nature. So there's a Tibetan medicine called wind medicine. Because wind diagnosis is not in allopathic medicine. The only thing they will tell in the allopathic is hypertense, which is hypertense come from the wind. We call blood pressure. What is that pressure? Pressure is the wind. Wind makes the blood go high. So wind, suppose if you take like a breakfast or eat something, it brings the wind down and you feel calmer. So that's how the wind works. And it disturbs from the inner level, mentally you get kind of like very disturbed. Even high altitude problem is wind problem. So Tibetan medicine is like wind number 35, wind number 20, wind number 8 for the heart. So when you take this, like within an hour you can feel calm down. Very, very. So wind can only be detected with a pulse reading. It doesn't come with a stethoscope. So Tibetan doctors can tell, your wind is in the heart or your wind is however. So very, very beneficial. In America, a lot of people have a lot of wind. It's too much speed, So everyone is some level of wind all the time, I've noticed. So hypertense, our lifestyle is hypertense. And so then people of wind are very flare up usually. People of phlegm are, like a very calm, but when they get angry, they last for a long time. And people of bile are in between, and usually people of bile, if they eat like lots of oil, butter, they get nausea, easily. So this is in the Tibetan medicine thing. But the point here is like our ignorance, anger, and then the attachments are the cause of these sickness, how it builds up. So it's going really like to a fundamental level. Then how those energies are built up and how that affect in our day-to-day life. So this is all working on the very deeper level. And then, you heard a lot of like horses and sheep. That's how, we also have here, people, I think it shows phenomenal world, how we live, our sustenance, how we live. And of course, at that time, there wasn't a car, so there was no mention of car here. If Padmasambhava is here today, he may write something about car. So anyway, so you see, then there is like we have karmic, lots of subtle energy level. So this is all, as I said, working on the energy level. And then like here on your shoulder, in Asia, people don't touch on the shoulder. Because this is where, here in the West, it's a friendly gesture, people touch on the shoulder. But when somebody touch on the shoulder, the person who's doing it's okay. But one who get touched feels something sometimes, if you know. Because this is where your guardian stays. So when someone push, it's like, suppressing a little bit. So in Asia, one doesn't touch here. People just, shake hands. People touch their forehead in Asia. New Zealand, they touch their nose. In Asia, they touch their forehead. So like that. So all this to do a lot with energy level, how you greet each other, how you, like that. And also people never touch on the head. In Asia, only the teachers give blessing on the head, but common people never touch on the head. So people get offended if lay people putting someone's hand on their head, they get offended in Asia. So you never touch on their head like that. So, but here there's affection, that's fine. But it does, because this is the highest level of your energy spot, chakra. we have like a chakra point here, then speech chakra, body chakra, speech chakra, mind chakra. Navel is where, in the tantric practice, where the knowledge rise, then the activity chakra, 5 level of chakras, the energy spot. So like here, like when a person dies, when we die, of course, consciousness is not an object, neither there is form nor there's a color to consciousness. But when a person dies, you should never touch from their legs, because wherever you touch, from that point, the consciousness will leave after, at the time of the death. So if you touch from it's said that upper part, it will go to the higher rebirths. If you touch from the lower parts, the consciousness can go to the lower rebirths. Of course, there's many other factors like what kind of karma the person has. And, it's just not one thing. But the exit sort of is here. That's the main thing. So when one does the transfer of consciousness, power practice, it's like a 1 week practice. I'm going to lead sometime in the future. When you do power practice, you shoot your consciousness from here, like a particular Buddha field. And so this, that you have perfected the power, you open up here. And you can put a kusha grass straight, it will go. The chakra open up. After like a week. It takes only like a week. It doesn't take more than that. When you do the training of power for like a week, then your consciousness, you've been doing, ejecting your consciousness, you feel very wobbly sometimes. So you need to bring down. Some even faint, and then you have to rub their feet to bring warmth and to bring the consciousness down. So therefore, power is good to training, but it's not good to do a lot because it can shorten your life doing a lot of power practice. But it's very important at the time of death when you see the outer sign, inner signs, secret signs, and dreams. Many things will tell. In the Bardo teaching explain, sign of your death 1 year before you will know. It's your emotional sign, your dream sign, and then many, many signs are there. 1 year before you can know, 6 months before you can know. And then at that time, so when the time of the death actually comes, then if you're really trained in power, then you can shoot your consciousness at that time, to Buddha field. So this is the practice of power. Very profound, the Vajrayana practice. It's not in the sutra teaching, it's not in the Hinayana teaching, it's only in the Vajrayana teaching. So, like that. And the greatest of all transfers is realization, enlightened mind. If you are realized in this lifetime, then at the time of death, when the outer elements, desolation happens, then your emotion also get very light. So sometimes when people are dying, they say, oh, I need more support on my pillow, push me up. What's happening at that time? The earth element dissolving into water element. When the earth, if you put a water on the earth, it gets heavy. So our earth elements, when it dissolve into water element, because we have 5 elements, right? We all have 5 elements, this body. Wind, fire, water, there are 5 elements. So when the water dissolve into the earth, then the earth dissolve into water, then it's become heavy. At that time, people say, I need more support. If you look at a dying person, I need more. Then when the water dissolve into fire, get very thirsty. Now, and then emotion level also. Now you're struggling to find your identification on the emotional level because they're all kind of like disappearing, outer level, inner level. Then so when all the five dissolution, then the fire dissolve into wind, then very, very light. Now you couldn't really focus much, and so you're kind of like staring, there's not much in your emotional level left. So each one of those elements, when it dissolves step by step, then finally, then when you conceive, your father's semen and your mother's semen, that first purity, when the father's semen comes down towards your heart chakra, you see everything white, And then when your mother's semen comes from the navel chakra up, everything becomes red. And when they mix together, then you are dead. Then the consciousness leaves. Right after consciousness leaves, then the dawn of enlightenment shines, because basic goodness is the nature of all being. Then it will spark. But most people who are not used to that in this lifetime, just caught up in dualistic mind, never have recognition of one's awareness, it will just stay like a second. One would get startled, one would not recognize that. Then again, you will go to, a realm, whichever your karma throws, your positive deeds or negative deeds. It will throw you in one of the 6 realms, either human being or animal, most being, because you have no real. Those who now at that moment, while those who have in this lifetime received teaching on nature of the mind, and those who have meditated, who have realized, then at that time when the dawn of the uncontrived nature of pristine awareness arises, that's called clear light. Then you will recognize, so person is clinically dead, completely dead, Then when that dawn happens, they raise their head like that. And 14 days, 3 days, no smell on body. Completely dead physically. No smell. It's like the luster come back. Normally when the person dies, the nose goes down, the eyes goes deep in, I don't know the English word, the eyes got like socket inside and everything. Ordinary person dead. But then those who realize, they come back. Some remain in 3 days, some remain in 5 days. And then the rainbow appears, and many amazing signs of the great enlightened beings happen. So in my case, my previous life body is still in my monastery, and he remained for 21 days in meditation after death. So after whether it's 5 days or 3 days or 1 week, whatever, then the head goes down like that. They're dead. And then it will smell after that, body will smell. Still dead, even they're completely clinically dead. But there's a subtle warmth in the heart, very subtle warmth. But from the medical point of view, dead. But because of the clear light happening like that. And we all have the clear light nature. So that's why important to do practice and don't add up too much of confusion will be good. Keep your awareness, that's what it meant, So anyway, thank you very much. And it was wonderful today. We did healing practice, Avalokiteshvara practice on this special day. And I'm so happy seeing all of you, and we will meet again. And I'm going for some treatment. And then after that, my treatment, I'm going back to Asia to spend time with Soksir Miche and my monastery, my monks. And if I'm healthy enough, I will be leading, in Changtang, the nomadic country, around to 700 to 1,000 people come. I'm leading a Vajraguru practice. So every year, my heart's, if it allows, is on 14,000 feet. So a little bit tricky for me. I don't know if I can go there. But anyway, after that, I will come back and see you all. Thank you. So let's do a world peace prayer. Refuge, I'm going to give refuge. Those who want refuge, please stay here. Those who don't want refuge, then after dedication, then you can leave, okay? So the refuge, first of all, refuge in Buddhism is refuge. You don't really, it's not like the concept of baptism. It's very different. Because you can call the main point of Buddhism is to transcend the view of eternalism, fixation, and nihilism. But that's very difficult. It's going to take a long time to become real Buddhists. We call that Buddhist, but actually it's one's own awareness. So even you take a refuge ceremony is a commitment to oneself, telling from now on I will practice bodhicitta, I will work on the awareness. That's what it is. So it's not like you take a baptism and now I'm saved. No, you won't be saved just taking a refuge. If you engage in your dualistic, confused mind, there will be quite a while before you get there. So that's what it is. But it's a reminder from now on, from today on, I will be, engaging in myself and work with myself. That's what really refuge is. Yeah. So, anyways, so let's do a dedication, world peace prayer. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities in merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities in merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities in merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune well-being perfectly rise. By this merit, may all beings gain omniscience, thus defeat the neurosis
and negative actions which are the enemies. From the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of cyclic existence, may all beings be liberated.
Thank you. So always please have a good heart, warm heart, compassionate heart, do tonglen practice, do meditation, then things will open up step by step by step. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now we completed. You can go. Those who want refuge, you stay. Those who don't need refuge, you can go. So those who want to take refuge, there's a little ceremony, so I'm going to show and how many people are there. So first, those who need to go, please go. And those who already got it, you don't need, you can leave. And those who don't want to take that, you can also leave. And then those who want, you can stay. Yeah. Those who already have, you don't need. Yeah.